everybody.
Morning everybody. Oh, it's a cold one this morning. I've had to go with 2 hats.
I'm just about to go and get mine. Not 2.
We've just left Pollington and we're now on our way down. I think the game plan is to stop at Ferry Bridge. We think there may be a mooring somewhere around Ferry Bridge because I've got a teleconference with the pension man, so got to make that. Need some money in the coffers. So we're on the Aire and Calder. It's quite wide and quite straight. It's a commercial waterway really, so not that much to see.
No, quite flat.
It's quite flat, not so many trees about. Odd bit of wildlife. We've seen a heron. We've seen some deer in a field, haven't we? As we've come up, yeah. So that's good. So we'll pottle along, and if there's anything else of interest, we'll put it up for you. Right, here we are, just coming up to Whitley Lock, on our way to Ferry Bridge. Just got to drop Carol off on the lock landing so that she can go and weave her magic on the doors. There you go, my sweet. So I'll just ease us into the entryway to the lock. Carol will press all the buttons and get the doors open for us. Say again, babe. Okie doke. Here we go then, doors are opening for us. Now enter into the lock chamber itself. These are really big locks, so these are commercial waterway, so our boat gets dwarfed in these things. And when you get down onto the smaller canals, the locks are only as big as the boat. But they are easier for Carol because at least she's only pressing buttons at the moment. They're all electric. Can be quite tough when you're trying to shove the doors and wind the handles to get the paddles up. You see the M62, I believe that is, across the front of the lock there. Okay, babe, close them up. We're in. In these big locks we tend to stay as far away from the far doors as possible because once the paddles are open it can get quite turbulent at that end, so it's actually banging off the walls and all sorts. Easier just to stay at this end until the water levels have settled down. that's that end done. Now Carol has to run to the other end and put the key in the box at the other end, and that works the sluices and the gates on the far end. And she'll start by opening the sluices to fill the chamber, and then once it's full, we can open the gates, and we're off on our way. Obviously, stopping to pick her up, otherwise she gets the hump. And then I think it might be time for coffee. So we've just passed Bankdole Lock, which was the route up to Selby, which we did a few months back. So we're now breaking new ground on a new piece of canal. This takes us up to Castleford from here really, but I think we're only going as far as Ferrybridge, which doesn't seem to be that far away, to be fair. It's quite nice actually. It's a bit of new canal, and it's nice to see new things when you go around new corners, if you know what I mean. It's not somewhere where we've been before, so that was all part of the idea of getting the boat in the first place, was to tour the network. So yeah, it's very pretty, as you can see. Pirate flag.
Second.
Pirate flag. Back of somebody's house.
Alright.
That's on top.
Nice and slow.
Yeah. Bit of a climb down for our age, that flower. Need something lower. That was a kingfisher I was just diving around for. Oh, nearly knocked the camera over as well. I've been trying to get a decent picture of a kingfisher forever, and they're so fast. Squirrel. It'll only be when I get the pictures back to the computer I'll see whether I got it even nearly in focus or even nearly in frame. Morning everybody, this is where we were moored at Ferry Bridge. We've just warming the engine up now, and we're about to set off up towards Castleford. It's a lovely day again. We've been quite lucky with the weather for the past couple of days. It's been gorgeous. So we'll pop some bits of video up as we see stuff of interest. Well, first thing in the morning, it's not just a case of jumping on the stern and setting off. We have to do a few engine checks, things like oil, charging belts, etc. And they all live under this lot, so we have to do a bit of a dig to get to the engine, which means shifted bolts and boards and everything. Unfortunately, I haven't got a wide enough angle lens to show you as much as I'd like to. The engine is down here, and first and most obvious one is engine oil, which, if we have a look there, if you can see, it's fine, it's right on the line, look, lovely. The next check is just to check tension on the charging belts. There are a number of alternators, so there are 3 belts in its entirety. Just give them a little feel. They're pretty good. We keep an eye on them regularly. They did squeal last winter, but I've tightened them up since then and checked all the alternator bearings, so everything's pretty good. Looks good for this morning. Occasionally, I say occasionally, but every once every 2 or 3 days I'll go to the back here and check the gearbox oil, and also the bilges to make sure we're not full of water, but as you can see it's pretty dry down there at the engine side of things. There's a little bit at the back that catches the water coming in from the prop shaft, but we've been pretty good in terms of leaks. And the only other thing that we have to do on a regular basis is wind this greaser, which this cylinder here is full of grease, and there's a tube that basically goes all the way down to the stern gland, and it just pushes a bit of grease into the stern gland. It lubricates it and also stops the water coming back the other way. That's our tests for this morning, so we seem good and ready to go. Okay then, time to cast off.
I'll bring fenders in when we set off. I'll bring them in, love.
Okay, babe. Okay, flour. cast off, give us a shove. Lovely job, all done. And that, I don't know if you can see just in front, is Ferry Bridge floodlock, which, if everything goes to plan, last night both gates were open, so we can just whistle through without stopping. Excellent. This is Ferry Bridge floodlock. When we pop out the other end of this, we're then on the River Aire, which takes us up to the Castleford Cut. We'll be coming through a lot to get on the Castleford Cut, and that's where we're hoping to find some diesel, to be honest. Still got half a tank, but I'd just like to top it off for the climb up through Leeds and Bradford. You've certainly done alright with the weather, kid.
I've been really lucky. Quite surprised actually. So we're going to take a day. It's gorgeous.
I saw a couple of kingfisher yesterday, or a kingfisher, and I managed to catch some image of it on the camera, but not a really good photo. And it's the one bird that's evaded me through my photography career up to now. I've not given up. There's still options. I've got the camera primed and ready again. We'll see whether we catch anything today. This is an easy lock for you, Carol.
It is, it's wonderful. That is. No messing. Until we get through with the other side of Castleford, I mean, it's an easy day again, lock-wise.
Yeah, I think there'll be one at either end of Castleford Cut, and then we're going on to Lemonroyd, so there'll be probably three, is it?
After there, yeah.
I didn't put it in canal plan actually to see what the distance was. I don't think it's far.
No.
Should be there by lunch with a bit of luck.
Misty can go on her adventures for the afternoon.
Yes, she managed to bring a mouse back to us last night. Carol was front and centre in getting rid of it.
Chasing around the engine room.
I'm not a big fan of mice, they're dangerous creatures. But I have a mouse catcher in the house.
Well, you've got two, actually.
One that brings them in and one that takes them out.
Takes them out. Oh, that's nice, look.
Yeah, pretty, isn't it? Well, this is the River Aire again.
Boats in air.
This is what I like about being on new canals. Every time you go around the corner there's a new view, and it's fantastic. And even when you're in quite big cities it still seems quite nice and pretty. Surprisingly, I expected it to be much more run down in some of these places.
Yeah,
This is really
industrial.
nice.
Yeah, hello, this is Swan. This is Swan.
Looks like there's water dripping down from this bridge. We'll try and avoid that. we're just crossing under the A1M. We're just, I guess it's north of Ferry Bridge and close to Fairburn, I guess. Fairburn Ings, which is a nature reserve. So we've got our eyes peeled for wildlife. We've seen we've seen a fox. That was good. I think I've got a picture of it. And there's been quite a bit of bird life. No kingfisher yet, but our eyes are peeled on the horizon. So this is Fairburn Railway Bridge. Looks quite old, quite pretty as well. Right, we're on the River Aire, just passing through Fairburn Ings and up towards Castleford, and it's really pretty up here. Sun's been out, not been as much wildlife as we would have hoped. I certainly haven't found the bits. That's
Fairburn.
Yeah, where we used to. That's that path that we used to walk.
Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really pretty, and the sun, because it's morning sunshine and low in the sky, it's really great light for photography. Shame there hasn't been a few more bits and bobs to catch, really. This is the life, isn't it, Carol?
It certainly is. Beautiful. Cold but nice.
Yeah, there's a bite in the air, but the scenery is fantastic. And we've only seen one boat come the other way. Everybody else must still be tucked up in bed, bless them.
Don't know what they're missing.
I'll tell you what is much nicer.
What?
Last year we would have been having coal smoke and coal dust hitting us in the face at this time of year because the fire stoked up.
Yeah.
The diesel stove makes
Much
it.
cleaner.
Been a cracking stretch of river that, really enjoyed it. Doesn't look like there's many trains go at Railway Bridge. Have to try and sneak tight on the side of this channel to miss the weed, or at least push it in the other direction. It's laid right across the lock entrance. Tried to get in the edge away from it. Right, we've now entered the Leeds Liverpool. We got to Castleford. We managed to service the boat with the exception of diesel, which was the one thing that we really wanted. So we're not desperate, but it would have been nice to have been topped off. So hopefully we can find something further down here later on. We're headed for Lemonroyd, which was the idea, or where we wanted to finish for the night. It's quite cold, doesn't it, today? It's bitterly cold.
Yeah, really cold.
Beautiful, and The sun's out and that, but it is quite nippy. So we've been on the go now for a few hours, so we're looking forward to getting to Lemonroyd
And stew.
calling it a day. Yeah, we've got some nice hot stew for tea or for dinner. That's fantastic. Carol's just made us a coffee, which is nice and creamy and nice and tasty. So we're enjoying that at the moment. And as I say, hopefully we can find somewhere for diesel in Leeds, or no idea. I'm quite surprised actually. Obviously we're quite new to boating, but we thought diesel wouldn't have been an issue. But there was a diesel pump at Castleford, but no diesel. And people seem to do a lot of carting of tanks. So in the comments below, people know how they deal with diesel problems. I mean, we have got a spare can, but it looks like we need to carry more spare cans and be willing to leg it to the petrol station to fill them up. So disappointed with that, but hey ho. So I'm going to enjoy my hot coffee, make our way to Lemonroyd, and we'll talk to you then. Oh, better drink it first. Nothing to add?
No, darling. No.
Good hope. So here we are at Lemonroyd Lock. This takes us up onto the cut where we're going to moor for the night. Carol's up there now, just working or weaving her magic on the sluices. I can hear them squeaking. So we're going to pop up here, find somewhere to moor, and then take stock. We'll have a look, see where we're going to go next, whether we hold here for a couple of days or whether we move on straight away. Might hold for a bit, but we also need to figure out where the next best place is for diesel, I suppose. Right, in we go to Lemonroyd Lock. Blimey, it is a deep one. Must be 15 foot that. There's the gates closing.